Now the thing, we should have maybe watched this matchup very beginning, because if Bubbles does actually action coming out at the top, the Dark Lady is trying to rush this Moon Meander here, playing this Plague, but not able to get a follow-up stun coming up from Minas. This Plague is just too fast, so that's very unfortunate. But he is level 9, and he is farming very well, 60 CS. He's going to try to dive again, but no, Plague Rider is just too damn fast. But yeah, I wanted to talk about Soul Stealer and Bubbles. If Bubbles does win, he has to be super ultra. Actually, again, he's diving again on Moon Meander. The heal comes out from Chessie. One more auto attack. He does get the nuke off him, and he actually will fall, so I don't know about that trade. Really good heal coming out from Chessie.
Well, that was a mix of the mana battery and then the heal from Ophelia. I thought he should have been dead twice, but yeah, that was just good coordination from both himself and the team. But the point you're going off of, though, Soul Stealer, he's already got a Mighty Blade, he's got Steam Boots, and especially now with that death on Dark Lady, although she is still ahead of Soul Stealer, Soul Stealer is doing it very well. Very good job against Bubbles at this bottom lane. Kind of was the point that you were talking about there. But still, Dark Lady on the other side, I mean, again, despite that death, she is actually still a good 30 gold per minute ahead of Soul Stealer.
Yeah, but yeah, she is, and that's good for Dark Lady. But again, I think Bubbles just kind of played maybe a little bit too passive in the beginning. Soul Stealer is very weak levels 1 to 2, or 1 to 2. If Bubbles naturally has much higher base damage and just more nuking power from levels like early levels 1 to 3. And if he was to win the lane or actually get a kill maybe on Soul Stealer, he had to do it early. But unfortunately, I didn't catch the very beginning of it. He probably just played way too passively, and Soul Stealer in the result was able to catch up.
Oh, we see right here, yeah, Aluna in the middle lane. She was just completely out of position right there. I don't know if they were going to try to play aggressive themselves, but Hammerstorm was coming in with the flank. Tempest was not nearby, and Aluna easily gets ganked right there. So nice setup kill coming up from Complexity yet again. Bottom tower going down. Now, Pablo McDad, he was there attempting to deny. That was actually a very close one, it looked like. But Haxrin was able to, or at least the Legion team got credit for the kill, and that is the good news in the end. Dark Lady, once again, though, really pushing this top tower. Needs to be careful, because you do see Glacius actually running on over, and if Dark Lady once again tries to get a little bit aggressive as far as tower diving, that could definitely turn around to bite her in the ass. But she is level 10, farming 347 gold per minute, and she has another 600 gold saved up. I think she may even have the first broadsword. I mean, I actually haven't paid attention to that enough, so maybe not, but still, no matter, even if she doesn't, I mean, she still is farming, of course, very well as far as that is concerned. Tempest has another 1,000 gold saved up, so whether or not he chooses to go something like the Steam Boots or just now into that portal key, we'll have to wait and see. Of course, he has the Ring of Sorcery first, and then Pyromancer. How's Pyromancer doing? Only 195 gold per minute, so Limp here really hasn't had the greatest start playing this Pyromancer in the middle lane.
Well, he's got decent amount of CS. They have roamed mid a bit, but I mean, you compare that to Hammerstorm, and basically the same thing, just a little less in CS, but does have those 2 assists and no deaths, so his GPM is naturally a bit higher. But yeah, really, this bottom lane is just completely crushed by Haxrin. And I would really like to see Pablo McDad kind of make a move here. He's been level 6, well, he's level 8 now, so he's had that ultimate for quite some time, and I really think that that's an ultimate to be used early on. Maybe even set up a kill top or just somewhere, but nothing's happening in this bottom lane. If the longer you stay down here, the worse it's going to get. Soul Stealer is still going to deny every single creep from you unless you decide to use that Shell Surf, which you really don't want to do.
Yeah, so, ooh, Plague Rider going in right there a little bit, puts a Contagion on Dark. I thought he may have been getting some assistance, but no, was just there simply harassing. But that's what I was going to say. I mean, not only has Bubbles been really not active at all as far as having that ultimate for a while now, but Haxrin, he's not only been free farming, but this tower's now been dead for a couple of minutes, and he's still been pushing up like he is now. I mean, look at the positioning of Soul Stealer. You would think that's very vulnerable to getting ganked, and it doesn't really seem like the Hellborn team, not granted, again, it's not the easiest thing, obviously, and with Ward of Sights and everything, it still is difficult, but they just haven't even attempted to do anything about the Soul Stealer. You have an Aluna, a Pyromancer, a Tempest even, who can definitely be pretty powerful in terms of setting up ganks on top of that Bubbles that we keep talking about. So, I don't know, it seems like to me at least that the door's been open a couple times for Trademark Esports to perhaps get a gank down there at the bottom lane onto Haxrin, but they really haven't been taking advantage of it. But they do have a Dark Lady who is, if not anything, competing farm for farm with the Soul Stealer. And in the later game stage, I mean, I think it is safe to say a Dark Lady can out-farm, can out-carry a Soul Stealer. But in the mid-game stage, Soul Stealer will be very deadly, especially with that Portal Key Shrunken Head combination.
Yeah, I just really would. I mean, the gank setup early on from Minuts was very strong. But here's the thing about a Plague Rider in the long lane, especially when you have a Tempest. You can punish the fact that they have a deny, and you can actually push really early And I think that window is kind of gone because now that the Glacius is getting levels, now has boots, Ophelia is level 9. Solstier just picked up his portal key, by the way. Now it's going to be a little bit harder to take that tower because you might have some resistance. But yeah, against the Plague Rider who has that deny, naturally pushes the wave back, makes it even easier to get pushes done. Now I think Minus' idea is just he wants to get a fast early portal key and kind of surprise them. Hopefully he's able to be successful in that regard because I feel like he could have been helping out his team a little bit more here.
Yeah, well, he just picked it up right there. So if that's what he was waiting for, then expecting then at least at the very most the next minute here for something to happen because, like you said, he hasn't really been doing many ganks us in the middle lane. Speaking of ganking, Galvanize used by Hammerstorm, charges in right there. Luna got a red stun off, though, just before. So the follow-up not able to be successful. And Bubbles was also porting in, so you almost want to say Aluna should have actually taken the initiation right there because that could have been his attempt for a turnaround. But Soul Stealer was also here. You see Chessie, so maybe not. Wouldn't have been worth it. But they are now going to aggressively push this middle tower. You got the double Minotaur Skeleton King army coming out from Chessie playing that Ophelia. And that is a lot of pushing power as a result of that. Not able to go to it just yet. May wait for the next creep wave. But, of course, there is this Ward of Sight right here as well, giving plenty of information for Trademark Esports on the hill of complexity. So that they know, where they're setting up, what they want to do. And apparently now they're falling back. But, again, Minuts does have that portal key. He might have ran past this revelation, though. I don't know. I don't think he's actually been spotted yet with having it. So I think he's still safe in that sense. Because even if he walked by, that would have been so quick. But still... we're still waiting. When is that surprise opportunity going to come? He may have a chance right here. The Haystring going to spot. I believe he spotted, though. And there they very likely could have spotted the portal key. So that's unfortunate for my nuts right there.
Yeah, I mean, that is, again, I really feel like he could be way more active in this game. You mentioned Soul Stealer down here just really all by himself. And even with Soul Stealer having that great farm, even with him having that portal key, if you catch him out and he doesn't have a shrunken head, he will die very, very fast, even to something like a Tempest Bubbles. Because the Tempest has those minions ready to replicate. It's very, very easy to get a lot of damage on him. So that's the problem with Soul Stealer is a lot of teams are scared to run him because he is so squishy early on. Oh, actually, action here coming at the bottom lane. They wanted to get something done, but good heads up there by NoobG as he's able to just get away with those charging strikes. But yeah, again, I just really think... Now, at the same time, he is getting a ton of farm in the jungle. And actually, if you look at the experiences, very much in lead for tdM. Gold lead, though, is in favor of complexity with that tower kill.
Yeah.
But we'll see here. NoobG's very, very close to his Rune Cleaver. He has it in about 50 gold. This Ancients is triple stack. I feel like he just wants to kill one so he can get his Rune Cleaver, but wasting a little bit of time down here. Could be crucial time. We'll see. Yeah, this is a very interesting game so far.
Yeah, he is going to get some help from Pyromancer, but Pyromancer did walk past Ward of Sight, headed over to this area, so makes me wonder if the Legion team maybe going to scout that out. But Rune Cleaver just finished there by Dark Lady, and yeah, as soon as she gets it, she has 338 gold per minute right now. It's not being delivered, though, so a little bit of a misclicking there going on. That's kind of unfortunate. You would think that she would want it right now to be able to do this, but apparently not going to go for it. Top tower is denied by Plague Rider right there. Pyromancer nearly dying, by the way. And the courier still is not being delivered, so I don't know if they're just waiting for something else to get on the courier. I mean, it's sitting there with the two broadswords, so finally it's coming over, but that must have simply just been a misclick right there.
Yeah, I don't know.
Not sending it, and you got to figure if they sent it right away, I mean, these would be dead right now, and her GPM would have been 20, 30 gold per minute higher, so... it is going to happen, though, and now she's going to go and clean it up as well as this bottom lane, so still, it will happen. But Soul Stealer, man, 380 gold per minute, so not only does he have the portal we talked about, but he will also have that shrunken head here in the near future. And as you mentioned, once he gets that, then it becomes a lot more difficult to kill, of course, especially with this Hellborn setup. And something that keeps getting to me is this Pyromancer. I mean, the fact that we have who it's supposed to be a farming Pyromancer, again, it's not like she's been superb by any means, now farming 240 gold per minute, so actually isn't bad. But no movement going on. Now Chessie's going to catch Pyromancer right here with a double Minotaur sub by the Tempest ultimate coming in on top of the cover of darkness. Frozen out immediately. They only caught Hammerstorm and it bubbles with the shells reporting. The kill field coming out. The coordination is so sloppy right now. Oh, Soul Stealer gets silenced right there by Darkly with the Dark Blades charging strike. So not able to get his ultimate out, but very sloppy fight coming out right there, especially on the side of Trademark Esports. And it may pay to bite them in the ass now, as the Legion team is completely chasing. We got Galvanized by Hammerstorm coming up in 10 seconds. He is going to get the stun off onto Aluna. Needs to be a little bit careful as Soul Stealer jumps in, actually, and drops Aluna right there. The Glacial Blast stun is going to be enough to hold him off from taking out Tempest, but still, damage done by Complexity, and now they're going to push the middle tower as a result.
That was just a horrible Tempest ultimate. I mean, horrible. He had heroes nearby. He even had the Glacius nearby who could have been caught. Glacius was very easy, just use that Ice Imprisonment, cancel it immediately. And the fact that you spent 19 minutes in the jungle to farm a portal key and then did nothing with it, That's huge.
Yeah.
I mean, Complexity is going to run you over now. They have complete knowledge that you have the portal key. Pyromancer also died very easily. She had, I think, 1,800, maybe even 1,900 gold. Now is back down to 1,400, so that portal key is going to be delayed even more. I just don't agree with that kind of play at all. Very, very passive Tempest play, and it's really kind of biting them in the ass right now. They're going to need... Right now, their hopes is on this Dark Lady getting a massive amount of farm, but you can imagine... I mean, Soulstealer has the Shrunken Head available. He can buy it right now. And there's nothing, especially with this Tempest hold down, if they don't get a good Tempest hold, they got nothing. This Soulstealer is going to take apart the entire squishy team of Hellborn.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and kind of touching on what you're just saying right there is that... And that pretty much, you can almost tell that Trademark Esports, their strategy here simply is, and has been almost, you can safely say, of just, we're going to try to out-carry this Soulstealer with our Dark Lady farm. At the bottom lane, you do see Tempest get picked off right there, and that's a Portal Key surprise if I ever saw one. Hammerstorm picked one up, and then used it seconds later to kill Tempest. So that's exactly what we're talking about right there, the surprise factor and the power of it. But Trademark Esports, again, they're playing to the point of, let's just protect this Dark Lady, let's get her farmed as much as possible, and then win the game that way. And, I mean, you look at this lineup, a Pyromancer, a Bubbles, a Tempest, and a Luna, even. Like, they have a great roam potential and a lot of possibilities to set up some strong ganks, but, again, it's just not happening, mainly because it doesn't seem like they're interested in playing that way. They are playing more of the passive route of just farming this Dark Lady. And so far, obviously, that has not been working out. Obviously, Tempest getting picked right there really hurts. Now, Dark Lady, she is jumping up in gold per minute quite a bit. Still competing with that Soulstealer, though, and Soulstealer remaining ahead even after that Portal Key Shrunken Head purchase of hers. So that's the scary news. So you got to think that Complexity, especially now with that Portal Key pickup on Hammerstorm, you know, maybe waiting for another big item. I don't know what exactly that would be. Maybe the Shrunken Head on Hammerstorm or something like that. But then just look to push and take advantage of the lineup that they have and the overall farm that they have.
Yeah, Hammerstorm's farm is doing really, really well. B-Kid 0-0-5 now, but despite him not really getting the greatest CS in mid, I mean, he's played this game perfectly. He's got his Portal Key now, and going to be working towards that Shrunken Head, no doubt. And, I mean, things are just looking really, really good for Complexity. I got to bring it back to this Tempest pick, and I really feel like he could have abused, the fact that they had to deny in the long lane with him being Tempest. They could have pushed it, even though there's a Dark Lady there, and you like to keep that lane where it is because she can just farm it. The tower is more important, and with the gold tower, or with the tower gold, you can also get a kill out of it potentially. But Complexity, now they're grouping up with the core items that they have. They got the Portal Key on both Soulstealer and Hammerstorm, as well as all the creeps up from Chessie. She's got also a Ring of Sorcery as well as an Astrolabe. They're just going to keep marching together. They don't need to even separate. Actually, they're sending back Hammerstorm, and they're going to defend this mid tower, I think. But yeah, things are looking really, really good for Complexity. Yeah,
now, 2 towers are going to go down here in favor of Hellborn. Woo, that was a close deny right there, actually, by Franzi on Glacius, so that would have been huge for Complexity. But it is killed by Trademark Esports, and you do look at the overall goal, and again, Dark Lady continues to actually be on par right now with that Soulstealer. He got the Abyssal Skull picked up. He has another 1,500 gold just like that. So Dark Lady is getting scary, but this is kind of reminding me more and more of that match. What was it? I think it was Q Squad versus Complexity, actually. That was game number 2, if I'm not mistaken. Horspell playing Dark Lady. His farm was fantastic. He was beating Haxer, and I believe he was on Silhouette that game, and farm for pretty much all the game. He was doing very, very well, but the team was just not there as far as the support items, as far as supporting him in general. You know, it's almost seeming like that this could be a similar case here for Trademark Esports. Sure, Dark Lady being played by Noob G is doing very, very well, but this is a 5 versus 5 game. You cannot just have one man carry you to victory, especially at this top-tier level. And again, it's kind of feeling like it's more and more like that as this game progresses. Now, they do have a level 11 Bubbles, a Tempest with that Portal Key he's had for a while now, of course. He's level 12. I think it's safe to say maybe this game they do have the better supporting cast overall. Maybe it is going a little bit better in that sense, but still, if you're Trademark Esports, you know, you can't just literally bank everything on Noob G just simply overtaking this game. And I think we've seen that many times in the past just not work out. But overall picture, though, let's just look at the overall picture. And honestly, it really isn't that big in favor of Complexity. I mean, a 2,700 gold lead, 1,400 experience lead, and we're now coming up to the 24-minute mark. So sure, a lead here for Complexity. But I still think Trademark Esports, but as you even said earlier, a lot of it is going to simply come down to that Tempest Ultimate. Portal Key on Pyromancer now, too, by the way, which is also another good pickup for them.
It really is going to come down to the Tempest Ultimate, because without that, I mean, they do have the Bubbles Cal field, but without a good Tempest Ultimate, they actually have very, very poor team fight compared to Complexity. Complexity has a lot of stuns, and just the whole tanky nature of Hammerstorm makes him a really good presence in team fight, as well as that Galvanize. The Plague Rider, no question there. Plague Rider also has a portal key as well as a completed Shaman's Headdress. Moon is very, very farmed. And then Soul Zero doing so much damage overall with that Soul Burst. You think about Chessie's got lots of utility with even the Skeleton Kings, which could be very, very effective against Tempest Ultimate if placed correctly. And then Franzi, Glacial Downpour does a lot of damage if he's able to keep his distance. He did max out Tundra Blast. It's going to do a lot of AoE and slow damage. So, yeah, I just think the team fight is so superior over on Complexity side if that Tempest Ultimate is not perfect.
Yeah. Now, we're going to have 6 portal keys in this game. We already have 5. Bubbles is getting close to picking up his, so that's going to be the 6th portal key with 3 for each side. That's just ridiculous when you think about it. But middle lane, we have a jump here in the middle lane. Actually, a Luna getting caught out, and now the tower is also going to be pushed. But you look at the bottom lane, the Hellborn team kind of do the same thing. It's only a first tower, though, so they need to be careful about their decision-making here. They are going to lose the secondary tower with no defense put out. Now, sure, they are down a man. It is only the Luna, though. It's only going to be for another 20 seconds, so will tdM fall back? It looks like they are. All the ports are happening. And Complexity, of course, I'm sure they realize it by now. It's just a matter of will they stay or will they fight this? Again, they have the portal keys as well. They are starting to back up a little bit, but a lot of spread actually happening on Complexity side as well. Of course, very, very smart of them anticipating perhaps Tempest to jump in with an ultimate. Now, Luna is back up, so obviously the death, she's only level 8, the shortest resurrection timer, and she's going to be fine. And Complexity has eventually fallen back. So some tower exchanging going on as well as the hero kill. Definitely the favorite for Complexity right there.
Yeah, and yeah, Complexity's playing this very, very smart. A lot of teams would be like, we're much stronger than them. We have a lead. No, if you compare like the top teams from the not so top teams, is they will wait until they have an extremely sizable lead to push up into the higher ground there, actually into the base, or until they have a barrier idol, or both. So it really favors those teams. I mean, they're playing it really, really smart. They want to have a substantial lead until they actually push into the base. Right now, they have a small lead. And their team fight is very, very good, and they have the farm spread out among all their heroes. Right now on tdM side, it's pretty much all dumped on this Dark Lady. Tempest also has a decent farm as well. And then Limp, you talked about that Pyro. Now, granted, they do only have 2 kills, but Pyro has really done absolutely nothing this game. So, yeah, we'll see what they can do in this upcoming team fight. This is
going to be interesting. Tempest, he did not have a homecoming zone originally, but he did pick one up by the courier, and now he's ported back. I was going to say, if he didn't show himself right there, Complexity may have figured he had to run back a little bit, but he did show himself, so... obviously, again, they fall back. So, yeah, very smart decision by Complexity. As you said, I mean, really, they have a slight lead, but you do not want to force. By all means, Trademark Esports is definitely in this game still, and you do not want to be fighting uphill into that Tier 3 base tower against this Hellborn team right now, especially with the makeup of theirs and really Noob G on Dark Lady. I mean, he is farmed now. He has actually just finished his Frostburn, I believe. Again, his gold per minute, 460 gold per minute. Soul Stealer seems to continue to be slightly ahead, but again, it isn't obviously that much ahead. Soul Stealer, granted, he does have 2,400 gold saved up, but looks like he's going to be sent back to base right here by Ophelia, and I'm guessing that Geometer's Bane is going to be in the works for finishing for him. So
I don't like that pickup.
You don't like that?
No, there's a lot of AoE actually on the Hellborn side that those images are just going to get crushed.
Yeah,
and it's not like there's a big spell. Or a giant spell that's really good to disjoint with your Geometer's Bane. Yes, you can disjoint the silence from Dark Lady, but she just reapplies it. Plus, you already have the Shrunken Head, so it doesn't matter. You're going to nullify that effect entirely. So I would have picked up something more like damage, or even just more of a late game, securing the late game kind of item like a Whispering Helm into that.
Dark Lady, Dark Lady, man, she just tore up Hammerstorm right there. He couldn't even get off his Galvanize. I don't even know if that would have made a difference, though. Now, there was support nearby, so I was a little bit worried for Dark Lady, honestly, if really turned around on. But they were not able to get there in time, and Dark Lady shows her power right there of taking out the 1-versus-1 Hammerstorm, who's 4 levels lower than her.
Yeah, I mean, Noob G, again, we've gave him a lot of credit last time, but he's continuing to show just how good of a player he is, and he's doing really well. Now, the supporting cast is helping him stack as well. I mean, he can't do this alone. They're getting a lot of good stacks. He's getting a lot of good farm. And one of the interesting things to know, I don't know if we talked about this last time, but I do believe some of these top teams have actually agreed to not block Ancients with couriers. I'm not 100% sure on that, but that is a factor because you got to imagine in a game like this, that would be quite important. But they're not going to do that. Now, that doesn't mean you can't block with wards. So, no, but I was just going to say some really good counter warding coming out from Fane here. I think I was going to say 2 minutes ago was about the time that I think a Bound Eye should have been picked up.
Yeah.
That's a very, very powerful item, and especially it has no cooldown. There's really no risk into buying a Bound Eye with it dying because you can keep buying it. And it's just a very, very powerful tool to completely own as far as map control goes.
You see right there, Chessie actually sending in the Catman champion to Kongor, checking to see if it was happening, but obviously it wasn't. Dark Lady was busy cleaning up the Ancients. It's only single stack, but still, Ancients are Ancients, and you'll take a single stack over nothing any day of the week, of course. So she is now level 18. She's got to be level 19 soon. I mean, I pulled up the experience per minute chart, and she is beating Souls to it by a good amount, especially now coming up to the 30-minute mark here. So yeah, Dark Lady doing the carry thing this game, that's for sure. Pyromancer, I feel like really Pyromancer and Bubbles. I mean, look at that. 0-0 Bubbles, 0-2-0 Pyromancer. 30 minutes into a game, that's just that really that seems like that shouldn't be the case. But they only had 3 hero kills, but I mean, still, it should be higher, I would think.
Right. I mean, well, and then it's just going to be kept getting worse now because really their only target of choice if they want to go around and do some pickoffs. Actually, they could pick off Plague quite easily. Now, she does have that completed barrier idol, but I feel like before she even pops it, if Pyro and, say, Bubbles were to roam around, or even Tempest for that matter, you get a stun and you combo off your spells before that barrier idol is popped, you could easily kill a Plague. So they could kill Plague, they could kill Glaciers, they could even kill Chessie here, although Chessie would be kind of scary because if you get turned on with all those heals, that could be really bad. But yeah, I agree. I mean, despite this being passive play and you want to take the safe, they literally have done really nothing other than stack. They have items as well. Pyro actually is very close to a Shrunken Head if she decides to go that route. And also TDL is very close to a Shrunken Head as well. I believe, I want to see if she bought that Mighty Blade. I'm not 100%
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't think she did actually, but if she did, I mean, she is going to have that Shrunken Head obviously very, very soon. But obviously the secondary bottom tower taken out right there. There's only 1 remaining, but they're going to go straight for the basic enemy in the middle lane. But there's that barrier idol you talked about used by Plague Rider. Now, it wasn't really the best barrier idol in the sense that there weren't any creeps or anything that were nearby as far as a creep push, because you see the middle lane, and obviously it's in favor of the Hellborn team, but the tower does eventually get denied, actually, by Trademark Esports. So obviously you can say actually that's where it did make sense to use the barrier idol, knowing that there wasn't going to be a creep wave ever nearby. I might as well just use it, just tank the damage, go for the tower kill, which obviously in the end they got. I mean, sure it was denied, but when it's a base tower, really that's the last thing you're worried about. Getting it killed is what ultimately matters. So 31.5 minutes in complexity, another good sign for them. But overall picture still states that this game is very, very even, honestly. The experience difference is basically nothing. The goal lead, about a 4,000 goal lead in favor of complexity, but still very, very minor, man. Only 10 hero kills now, 32 minutes into this game. These last couple of days, we have had very few kills. But again, I really do think it's just because obviously it's a little bit playing passive because of what is on the line. That's just safe to say, but they're playing smart. It's not like they're playing bad by any means. I mean, both teams just playing smart at the same time, not taking those huge risks, resulting in less kills. But this is setting up. In fact, Bubbles jumps up with the song and Killflicker does a couple heroes out to the side. No full initiation just yet. Plague jumps in. Dark Lady in the background, takes that Glacius, but in the foreground, Bubbles didn't take a lot of damage. Souls to his way back. You see Plague being tanked by Dark Lady, actually just tearing him up, but a lot of split fighting going on right now from both sides. Plague is still alive. Dark Lady getting the Tempest ultimate, actually. Is there going to be enough follow-up? Dark Lady going for this, trying to strikes in 2 seconds, gets stunned by Hammerstorm. Pyromancer with the follow, there's the kill, and the kill is all around for Trademark Esports. Double tap coming out for Limp right there, and Plague to the sole survivor. We're probably going to see a genocide in favor of Trademark Esports. That's Taint Soul, and Noob G picks up a double tap. Expect Congo to go down right now here as well. What a fight for Trademark Esports.
I mean, it looked really, really horrible at the beginning. And I got to say, first of all, big props to Minus, because that's exactly what they had to have happen. Found a very great opening, a perfect Tempest ultimate. Now, before that happened, Limp played, I'm sorry, but that was really horribly played by Limp. He went in with initiation. I just think he was pressing random buttons because he hit nothing. I mean, he tried to go for a Hammerstorm who had already Shrunken Head, but the stun wouldn't have hit anyway, even if he wasn't Shrunken Head, and then comboed and hit nothing. But he was able to rectify that and bought back, because had he not bought back, they would not have the damage to get finish off those heroes in that Tempest hole. So while he had a really, really horrible start to that team fight, he was able to rectify that problem. So good job again, by the whole team right there.
Yeah.
It looked again horrible, but they were able to solve that problem very quickly.
Patience by my nuts right there, and it paid off big time. I mean, that set up the big Tempest ultimate that we kept referring to. throughout all this game, and it finally paid off, as you said. That worked out perfectly. It was looking like that Complexity was actually going to be able to get out of it, but the buyback from Pyromancer, obviously that was very smart of her to come in and assist with the Dragonfire and the Phoenix Wave stun, or the Phoenix Wave nuke, and then eventually help burn them down with Darklady also on top of that. So yeah, just big plays all around as a team. It just ended up working out for Complexity. They're now behind, and we have not said that too often here in the DreamHoN Summer Championships, if any, honestly. I mean, against TT Esports was probably their toughest matchup. That was game 1 against TT Esports just yesterday, but still, Complexity for the most part was at least somewhat in control for most of that game. For the first time, really, I think you can say Complexity is safely down in a game right now. Trademark Esports, they have control of this game now. This is a little bit tempted here. It's a Tempest going in. Now Nullstone is going to be activated right there by playing but soulstealer jumping up big time. However, the Hellboy team going for the support in the background. Hammerstone taking a lot of damage. Cover of Darkness coming out right there. And now you see Darklady just focusing on to Plaguewater in the background, but a big split fight once again coming out. Noob G will pick up with the kill. He's going to get 2 kills. He's also going to take out Hammerstorm. Double tap coming out. And soulstealer just trying to get kills himself. Actually, ultimate activated onto Tempest right there. Gets the kill. Bubbles trying to finish off Ophelia. The minions are coming in, though. He's going to portal key away, but now Noob G wants some more kills. He's going to look to take out the minions here. So you could tell, because they had that token of life especially, they were not afraid to fight, and it proved to be the right decision for Trademark Esports. This ain't over just yet. Ophelia, are we going to see a Taint Soul go off? It's going to be close. The Catman champion misses, actually. And, oh, the nice freeze at the last second. And Darklady, okay, yeah, I love the man up, but you are really manning up here. So I might want to be careful, but she does have the token, but yeah. Big fight there for tdM once again.
Yeah, I mean, Noob G's doing a really good job. I feel like his focus, though, should be a little bit more on the Soul Stealer. Plague is deceptively tanky. With that level 3 Cursed Shield, she's actually got quite a lot of armor. And it takes a lot of time from TDL, but an eventual good spread coming out to make the team fight last long enough for tdM, so that TDL is able to get a kill, even though if it takes a long time, and then come back and try to support his team. Now, this is very, getting kind of scary for Complexity, and I'm worried because I don't want them to drop a game, because I got to stand by my word and say they can't drop a game. But it's getting kind of scary because soulstealer is not the hardest carry in the game. And again, I don't really know if I like that Geometer's Bane pickup. Actually, Darklady does find soulstealer here. He's going to have to use a Shrunken Head. Now, he does use that Geometer's Bane right there. See, it doesn't even remove the silence, as it can get reapplied, as you just see. Darklady will fall back, though, as she assumes that help is on the way. She's got to be careful, though, because help is definitely on the way. She's going to clear out this Catman, and then probably maybe turn this onto Ophelia. Goes back onto Haxor, and Haxor does pop that Shrunken Head. And we're seeing a fight brewing here, Breaky.
Oh, Bubbles porting away. He's going to run right into Plaguewater, though, and nukes him down. Plaguewater at the portal key right before Darklady jumps. This is just some crazy fighting going on right now. Darklady is just manning up big time right here. Again, she has to go. Oh, the Tempest! Oh, she's going to pull them in. Soulstealer going to fall right here. Plaguewater is next in line. You see Hammerstorm just sitting here. He was sitting there the whole time. He did not stun. I'm not sure what that was about, but he's waiting for after now. Soulstealer buys back, and now Darklady is in the midst of it all. But Pyromancer here with Soulstealer ports in, and Soulstealer's going to drop once again. Complexity is very likely going to drop their first game of the tournament. Legion team is conceding the vote. There's a GG well played.
No.
And Trademark Esports has defeated Complexity, and as a result is now up 1-0. And more importantly, Tralfamdor, your statement is false.
No. I don't know what to say. Now, I do say, I want to say that in itself, we talked about hasty concedes. I think that was a hasty concede. And I'm not just saying that because I didn't want to be wrong. I really think there was definitely a lot more game to be played, just because you have the fear of a Darklady who has a lot of farm. Now, it's not like her farm was so crazy. Like, I mean, she was farmed. I mean, 540 gold per minute, that's a lot. But they definitely could have played this out. I don't know about that. I mean, the Tempest hole was down. They could have done something else. Now, a B-Kid right there, he was kind of sitting there. We were wondering. I think he was waiting for someone to cancel the Nullstone on Tempest. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. It actually looked like it was not up. I don't know. We'll have to go back. We'll have to go back and see. I looked a little bit after, and it said that the cooldown was like 15 seconds on the Nullstone. So I feel like he could have maybe stunned there. I don't know. But regardless, Complexity loses the first game.
Disappointment. Hey, I'm happy because now we got a hell of a series here. Very likely it could be a 3-game series, especially with the way, this is complexity after all. But they dropped their first game of the tournament. What a time to drop it here in the winners bracket finals. Trademark Esports. They played that so well, though. My nuts on Tempest. He did a fantastic Tempest ultimate. That's what we kept talking about. He was going to need to get that ultimate off, and he got it perfectly. So with that said, guys, Game 1 is officially over. Trademark Esports is now up 1-0 over Complexity. Let's go. This is a lot of fun. I'm Breaker CBK. Joining me is Tralph Bador. Stay tuned, guys. Game 2 is coming up just shortly here.